Are you letting your future stars or long-term franchise players truly cook? It's very relevant right now when Lawrence Butler is now sitting for a third consecutive game against the left-handed pitcher. And obviously, it could be something going on behind the scenes where, sometimes a guy is feeling something a little hurt, whatever, and you just don't get it. But if that's not the case, Cam, I checked the standings. The A's aren't in it this year. I checked the contract. The A's are living with Law long term, and they love him. And I checked the stats from last year. He was destroying left-handed pitching. It's been more of a down season for him this year. But is this the right move to start platooning him to this extent when you want him to thrive against lefties and righties going forward?
Well, I think you can think about it a few different ways, right? When you have a young guy like Law who is locked in, and you just said it, they're not going anywhere, and he hasn't hit lefties like he did last season. And as a young player, you're going to go through these ups and downs, early in your career. And I think this could just be a moment where Cox is just saying, "Hey, man, we're going to give you a couple reset days, right?" Also, too, Cox's job, and Cox has done a really good job of setting his young guys up for success. And we know Law is a part of the long term plan. And I think this could just be as simple as Kotz, who he was my veteran when I was in San Diego. He was the guy who told me to, hey, when they offer you a deal that you never expected or more money than you ever seen, might be a good idea to sign it. And I'm glad I did. It was the best thing I did in my career. So Kotz, one thing I know about Mark Kotze, he cares about his guys. And I think this just may be, if anything, just some time for Law Dog to clear his head and just kind of figure some things out in the cages before he gets him back in there. But I'm if I had to guess, he'll be right back in there facing lefties before you know it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it's a like you said. Is it a reset? Is it a couple days? Is it a thing, or is it something that they're permanently going to do? But you know, I'm a big believer in. I understand how difficult baseball is. You know, I know we talked about a guy like Mookie Betts, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best players of our generation, maybe one of the best players I've ever been around personally. He's struggling this year. Baseball doesn't care who you are, how much money you're making. It is hard to be great year in and year out. When you are in a position where a team is throwing money at you that is more money than you've ever dreamed of making and is going to make your life, you're going to be set for life and your kids are going to be set for life. It's hard to say no to that. It really, really is. And I wanted to touch a little bit on, some of the things I saw yesterday. And we're talking about the what ifs. I'm not a big believer in what ifs in this game because it's easy in a vacuum to say, oh, yeah, if he doesn't take the deal, he's going to make X amount in ARB year one and year two and year three, and he can sign for $500 or $600 million. Yeah, that's great if everything works out. But what if it doesn't? We never really talk about the players where it doesn't work out, where they sign deals, but now they're in AAA and they're making $5-6 million a year. You think they're enjoying themselves a little bit more playing in, Syracuse or Buffalo or wherever they're at?
Yeah, yesterday we talked about it, the Roman Anthony extension. I mean, for as good as he is, I'm with you, KP. I mean, everyone's got a number. At some point, you got to look at the number like, this is crazy good money. He's not locked up until he's 36 years old. He will hit the free agent market again. You're just eating up the entire 20s for him. And hey, how do you think I will present the counterpoint, even though I don't think Roman Anthony's going to be like this. Ronald Acuña Jr. has been hurt a good amount, but when he's on the field, I mean, he's a superstar. Do you think he feels okay with the fact that he signed an 8-year, $100 million contract way back and he could have been a free agent a while ago? Now, I know his knee has gotten shredded up, but if he hit free agency, the season in between when he got hurt, he could have gotten hundreds of millions of dollars. So do you think he's okay with what he did because he at least got the security? And again, we're talking about, this isn't like, oh, he signed for $1 million, $100 million. He's going to
Yeah, I
be
mean,
okay.
I was his teammate 2 years ago, and he's driving some pretty nice cars to the field. He comes to the field with a really big smile on his face, and he seems to be very happy. Yeah, it's easy to talk about the what if, but what if he didn't sign that $100 million deal and he was just playing it out and trying to get that big contract, and then he hurts the knee, and then he hurts the knee again? Are we talking about, you know, is he the same type of player? Is he going to get the same amount of money? And it's also easy. We never talk about when a player does sign up, long term for $100 million, or maybe they should have got 400. It's a little bit easier going to bed at night going 0 for 4 or 0 for 8. Like, the paycheck's still coming in. As a player that went year to year, there's a lot of stress on that. People don't understand that. And granted, I'm sitting in a position, I made good money in my career, but there's times I wish that I would have been offered, maybe if I could have been offered the same amount of money that I made in my career in year one, and I could have just been able to kind of take a deep breath and just understand I'm going to be in one place for a long time. The paycheck's coming in. I don't have to worry about the what if down the road. Would I have been a better player? I don't know. That's the tough question with something like this.
Kratz, there are a lot of people out there that pay rent and they don't get anything for it.
Might as well change that. You can get some rewards for flights, hotels, tons of stuff.
With Built, you can earn flexible points that can be redeemed towards airlines, hotels, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and much more. It doesn't stop there. Built is about making your entire neighborhood more rewarding. You can dine out at your favorite local restaurants and enjoy experiences just for Built members every month. They're turning a monthly expense into an opportunity to earn rewards and discover the best that your neighborhood has to offer. Your rent is finally working for you. Earn points on rent and around your neighborhood, wherever you call home, by going to joinbuilt.com/foul. That's joinbilt.com/FOUL. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. joinbuilt.com/foul. Go for it.
I made a list. Check this out. Julio Rodríguez, 14-year, $210 million, up to $470 million. He has not played like a $400 million player. Michael Harris signs an 8-year, $72 million deal. The defense is still elite. He has not replicated that offense. Adley Rushman, 8 years, $113. He has not played like that type of catcher.
Wait, no, Adley hasn't signed. Hold up.
Oh, excuse. Oh, Adley didn't sign.
You were cooking, but then I had to stop you on that.
But Adley didn't sign. So
Not
okay,
that I
skip
know of.
Adley. Hey, skip Adley. Luis Roberts Jr. Right hasn't played up to that contract. He's good for life. Eloy Jimenez, Key Bryant Hayes. Hey, Scott Kingery. You know what I'm saying? Andres Jimenez. These are guys who have not performed like they did when they got offered those deals. So for me, this is why I think it's important. Like KP said, they're going to be the Acuñas, but you're also going to have a list full of these guys also who, it was good that they signed these deals when you look at the way that they're playing, because they might not get those offers ever again.
I mean, even just this year, we talk about Kristian Campbell. He got off to the best start I'd ever seen. And I watched him on opening day, and I was like, I've never really even, I started to hear about him a little bit on TV in spring training. And I was fortunate I got to watch him play on opening day. And I was like, wow, this guy is amazing. And then honestly, in the first week, he signs this deal. You know where he's at right now?
In the bushes.
Yep.
He's in the bushes.
Yeah, we mentioned it
and there was these same talks about why did he take the $60 million? Was it $60 million? I don't want to misspeak. I know it was somewhere between
60
million.
Yeah,
$60 million. It's like, oh, we're judging a guy off of 1 week in the big leagues. We're judging off 1 week. Oh, this guy, he's going to make $300 million in his career. Why is he going to take the $60 million? The guy's playing in AAA right now.
That's right.
Baseball is hard. Baseball is hard.
Scott Kingery, literally, how you think Scott Kingery feels? That dude that's probably the best thing that guy did.
I know how he feels. Rich. He feels rich. And the thing is,
exactly,
there is risk on both sides. Teams take the risk KP too, but most of the time they get the surplus value on the back end. So I think it levels out. I think it's a good idea. Yeah. And like you said, the comfort for the player can often lead to better performance and guys just thinking about the team and not themselves and not their next situation to make sure that they were still there.
Right. You watch Julio Rodríguez. That's exactly how he plays. Julio Rodríguez played, and again, he's having these moments, but he literally plays like, I'm just playing for the team. Even when I'm struggling, he's smiling. He's a team guy, but you can't tell me that security does not help, right? He's like, hey, at the end of the day, like, you know what? I'm not playing like this money that I'm offering, so I'm going to be the best teammate in the freaking world. And I'm sure that's who he is anyway, but it helps you out a whole bunch. KP is exactly right about that.